What's going on, everybody? My name is Baloo and welcome to the jungle. This is the channel where we take a very simple approach to technical analysis. We look at the price in the context of volume using the Wyckoff method. If that is something that interests you, then why don't you hit the subscribe button? I do this every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In today's video, I want to talk about Bitcoin. The Coinbase direct listing is happening today. I don't think it is quite live, or at least it's not showing live on TradingView just yet. But we're going to talk about how that is affecting the crypto markets and how that listing in and of itself is going to add a ton of legitimacy to this space and really turn the heads of a lot of investors that are traditional investors in the stock market. So Bitcoin has had a breakout. We are going to discuss that breakout. A little bit of buy the rumor, sell the news type action today. We're having a little bit of a pullback, so we'll talk targets, but macro, I think that this is very bullish, and we are going to explore some charts. We're going to make comparative analysis against other cycles and talk about what kind of targets could be feasible. On this channel, we try to eliminate a lot of the hype. We try to maintain a neutral bias, and we take things level by level, but you don't want to be shaken out too early. So you do want to explore kind of those more bullish targets, which is what we're going to be talking about today. My apologies. This is the second take. So if you're just joining, thank you for joining back in. I don't know what happened there, but too much bandwidth or something going on, so my stream was a little laggy, but here we are. We're going to give it another go, and we're going to dive into the chart. So we will start out with the main attraction, which is Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. So here we are on Bitcoin. We're looking at the 12-hour chart. So we have been inside of this ascending channel, but more importantly, this area right here, this area of consolidation has we've had a breakout in this area here. If I just draw a trading range around this, a horizontal trading range, we can see that we've been consolidating. Hell, you can even put it up a little bit. And we're breaking out here. We're trying to get above this high currently. So there is a little bit of supply coming in, but the overall price movement of Bitcoin right now is very healthy. We're making all-time highs. We did come against resistance here, so we'll probably come down and test this area. I'm not seeing a ton of supply coming where we're going to see much lower targets than this. I think that Bitcoin is I'm really bullish on Bitcoin. I'm really bullish on the crypto space as a whole. I think that we are just getting going here. This is we try to stay level-headed. We try to understand what's going on, but I was around in the 2017 mania phase, and I often draw on those emotions and draw on the sentiment that was in the space during those times, and I can say with a lot of certainty that we are not there yet. We are not at the mania phase. I was having a discussion with one of my friends, back home, just a few weeks ago, and we were, crypto is my life now, so it obviously came up that we talked about Bitcoin, and I told him, yeah, it's up at around $60,000, and he's like, you mean 6,000? And I'm like, no, I mean $60,000. Retail hasn't got a clue. They don't know. The mania phase, in my opinion, has not even begun. The gains have been incredible, and it's going to get a little bit more extreme, in my opinion. So where we are right now, we had that breakout. We're just making higher highs and making higher lows. It's a very nice structure. The price spread is beautiful. We can see that the volume is declining overall. It's getting easier and easier to move the price up. Things are looking really good. Talk dirty to me, Baloo. We're just getting started here. We're just getting started. It's going to be an incredible run, in my opinion, if we are to kind of compare what happened in the previous cycle. Now, we don't hold the conviction that things are going to repeat, but often these cyclical things, they do rhyme. And the reason for that is kind of the network effect and the hype cycle. So, when you have more and more participants entering the space, and they start telling people, you know, you have a flood of new people that don't really know what they're doing, that don't really understand the tech, and when you get to the end, it doesn't matter anything. They just want to know if it's crypto and where to buy it. We're not there yet. You know, the investors that are in the space right now are definitely on the savvy side. You know, they're watching where they're putting their money. You know, they're reading white papers, they're looking at projects, they're getting hands-on with some of the decentralized applications, and we don't have the FOMO that we saw in 2017. So let's go ahead and take a look at the BLX. So for those who don't know what this chart is, the ticker is BLX. This is the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin. It's the longest chart that you have access to as far as a historical chart. And we're going to go back to 2017 and we're going to make some comparisons here. So where I think we are in this cycle is I think we are right here. And the reason I'm drawing that conclusion is just because of this structure right here. So let me just kind of zoom in on this structure where I'm drawing this thesis. We have a rally and then a consolidation and then a rally and a consolidation, and it's kind of making this stepping stone formation. Okay, you can see, you know, we had a support slash resistance flip here, and then we have kind of a you know, a little bit of it even has an up thrust too before the breakout, and a support slash resistance here, and then at that point it never came back down to retest the support levels, which is showing you that the sentiment changed, and you know, the demand was so strong and the supply was so little that we didn't need to come back and test previous levels. So I'll do this same sort of thing back here. Let me actually just remove these drawings. So this is the kind of formation that I'm speaking of, this kind of double wave little consolidation formation here. So consolidation formation, it sounds like, I don't know, but yeah, we have this one kind of SR flip, and then we had this other area of resistance up here, and we have broken out of that. So if we are to draw the comparison of this kind of buildup of momentum and look at the BLX, well, we've got some serious upside ahead. So now let's kind of determine price targets. Now you can take this rally by rally, but what we've noticed in this market is that the reactions have been very minor. We haven't seen these huge reactions. Like if we go and take a look at this reaction, for those who don't know, a reaction is a downside move and a rally is an upside move. This reaction was, you know, 30%. Over here, this reaction was, you know, 42%. We have not seen a 40% reaction in this market thus far. So that is very much so coming from the institutions. The smart investors, the savvy individuals, the high net worth individuals, they're buying the dips more aggressively than just retail. You know, 2017, that was a retail game. Wall Street wasn't in, and now Wall Street is in. So I'm pretty bullish. And okay, so let me get to the point here. Where's the target? What are we looking at here? So if we go to the peak of the second kind of consolidation before getting out of hand here, I'll go to the very tip, and I'll bring it up to this this top right here. And it's a 297% move to the upside. We'll just call it 300. So from the breakout of this consolidation to this market cycle peak was about a 300% move. Now, if we go to Bitcoin, and let's just go to the weekly so it's a little bit cleaner. And we just zoom in here. I'll even turn the volume off for a second so that we can make it really clean. And we go to the peak right here, the peak of the consolidation, not the breakout that we're in currently, but the peak of the consolidation. And we drop our measuring tool here. And we go up to around 300%. Why don't we do 297? We're looking at about $250,000 per Bitcoin. And I don't think that that is outside of the realm of possibility. And I'm preparing myself mentally for those types of targets. Obviously, you have to let the market tell you where the top is. Don't ignore the signals. If we see a really significant and violent drawdown after a parabolic move, well, we might want to consider that that was the top. The other thing too that you want to take into consideration is maybe the previous cycle wasn't as bullish as this one is going to be. Now that's, you know, again, we take things level by level, but what caused the previous cycle to end was literally the launch of the CME futures for Bitcoin. Institutions had the ability to short a parabolic run, and they made a ton of money doing so. Things have changed, you know, the institutions are on the other side now, so they're not in positions, they're not going to be looking at these things as an opportunity to short. They might, but you know, you have to let the price candles develop, and you have to let the price action kind of present itself to the point where you would be entertaining those types of you know, ideas where you would want to potentially short Bitcoin. We're not parabolic. We are not parabolic. We have some more upside ahead, in my opinion. So yeah, $250,000 Bitcoin is a potential, but not something that I'm necessarily planning on. I'm not going to be, you know, there's going to be take profits along the way. Most of my take profits is going to be in the altcoin space. For me, my largest holding is Bitcoin, and I can make a lot of money in altcoins to kind of help, you know, facilitate a lot of the take profits. You know, I'm invested in the ecosystem. I don't necessarily have to sell Bitcoin. So what I will be doing with my Bitcoin is I will be hedging out after the top is in. I've thought a lot about this, and I think that the altcoin gains are going to be more than enough for me to not want to actually sell my Bitcoin on this side of the bull market. On previous streams, I said, you know, harvest profits along the way. I've decided that my profit taken is going to come from the altcoins. So I'm going to sell my Bitcoin, and I'm going to cover my Bitcoin after the top is in. Because if we're up here at $250,000 a coin, it's plenty of profits for me to wait for a confirmation to come in. I can wait for that huge drawdown, maybe back to 150,000 or whatever, because my goal is to accumulate the strongest asset in the world, and that is Bitcoin. So yeah. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Yeah, Tread 77, is Ether looking to drop for support as well? I think we're having a little bit of a sell-off event. It's very minor. It's very minor. But let's go ahead and take a look anyways. I don't need the BLX anymore. Let's make this stream run well. I want to have as few tabs open as possible. Let's take a look at Ethereum. So as some of you know, I purchased a few options contracts on Ethereum. I purchased some call options, and that was right as we started to present the breakout. We have that breakout. We've broken out. It's time to head up to higher levels. Do I think that we can come back down? Yes. Yes, I do. Because this breakout will likely test. So expect the area, you know, down in this zone right here. Let me just get my pen open here. You know, this would be very natural to get a test back down to these levels. So we're looking at around, you know, $2,200 for the price of Ethereum. You know, when you have a breakout, it's got to test, because what that test does is it allows to prove that it's not an upthrust. And that's very important for people to really get convicted to their trade. They need to see that we've broken a level of resistance, and it needs to flip and set as support. Once you've confirmed support, then we can take off, because, you know, most of the traders aren't going to be selling, which is a bit of a supply shock. And there's some other characteristics inside of Ethereum that are going to be contributing to other supply shocks. The space is so bullish, man. Like, the setups are everywhere. The setups are everywhere. It's so crazy, you know, and that's kind of why I'm so bullish right now, because the setups haven't played out. We haven't reached all-time highs in a lot of the OG crypto coins. We haven't reached all-time highs, and we're just leaving accumulation structures. The accumulation structures dry up the supply. When the supply is dried up, you know, all you need is a little bit of demand to mark the price up. So when I look at the shock of supply, and the lack of the new retail investors in the space, I mean, they're here, but they're not like they will be, in my opinion. We're going to have a ton of demand come in on low supply markets. Bitcoin, you know, the institutions, they're not just buying on exchange, they're buying and they're removing it. There is such a liquidity crisis in this space right now. There is nothing. There's no Bitcoin. There's nothing on the exchange. Like, there is so much demand with so little supply. That is it's just the clear fundamental characteristics of markup. Buckle your seatbelts, basically, is what I'm gonna boil this down to. That's about as hyped as I'm gonna get. So yeah. Polisco is saying that's going to be difficult. Not sure what you're talking about. We have a ton of demand. Let's just keep it simple. All right, so a couple other ones that I want to take a look at. Now I have a Serum video in the works, but I want to talk about Serum because I think that this is a pretty interesting project. You know, the FTX exchange is going to gain popularity, in my opinion. FTX, if you haven't used FTX, I gotta get affiliate links. It's a fantastic exchange. It's quickly becoming my new favorite. And, you know, people are going to wake up to all the flexibility and how professional, you know, a hybrid trading platform is, having the ability to, you know, borrow money against your spot portfolio without having to lock it into necessarily a futures account like Binance has. And having, you know, it's a really good account. It's a really good exchange. You're going to want to check that out. But here we are on the daily. We have this consolidation pattern that is kind of played out. And we have a breakout on that too. We're seeing so many breakouts. If you guys want a little bit of insider information, well, not insider information, but if you're interested in trading alongside me and coming to check out some of the trading setups that I'm looking at, along with educating yourself on how to find them yourself, because that's what most trading groups don't offer, is they don't actually give you the skills to find these setups on your own. I share with you everything that I'm looking at. I share with you all the setups, but more importantly, I teach you how to find them yourself. So if that's something that interests you, join the links, follow the links down below and join VIP. We will see you in the jungle. FTX isn't available in US. FTX US is, but it's just for spot trading. Yeah, man. I am really sympathetic to any of the American viewers of this show or any American crypto participants. You know, the SCE is just trying to protect you guys, but it's, man, they've really they're stifling innovation and they're stifling participation and they're getting in the way of progress. So my heart goes out to you. You know, I'm a Canadian citizen, so I don't have a lot of those issues. Another thing that I want to say, not to kind of add insult to injury, but, you know, don't use a VPN to kind of set yourself up with these exchanges that you're not really allowed access to. And the reason for that is you do not want to have your account frozen at the wrong time. You can make a lot of money with some of these coins, and you know, you may get overzealous and overcommitted to an exchange that you may not have permission to use technically. And if they find out, you know, if you for whatever reason log in without the VPN on, or maybe you check your phone or whatever, you know, something happens and they find out that you're not you know, in the right spot, they may freeze your account. And if they freeze your account at the wrong time, that can be devastating. So please proceed with caution. Now, on the plus side, I do want to say, as retail comes in, it's all about the easiest coins to buy. The US market is a huge market. There are a ton of market participants that are going to enter this ecosystem from the US. So if they can't buy it, they're not going to buy it. If they can't buy it, the demand aspect won't mark the price up. So I do think that, you know, up until this point, there has been a lot of gains to be had with these other exchanges that, you know, offer a lot of the coins that aren't available on US exchanges. But we're going to get to the point where that doesn't matter. And we're going to get to the point where the retail is just going to buy what they can. And there are a lot of really solid projects available on US exchanges. So, you know, to think that you can't make gains with the offerings on a US exchange, in my opinion, is severely incorrect. You have the opportunity to make some serious money with a lot of these high quality projects that are listed on American exchanges. Just the fact that they got listed on American exchanges shows you kind of their capability to navigate regulation and their ability, you know, it's a measure of the strength of the team. So right there, you know, you're kind of investing in solid projects. You know that you're in high quality projects that are willing to play and willing to go to bat with the regulators. So there is a plus side there. But yeah, FTX is dope. Another plus side to it is the DEXs. You know, the DEXs are coming. All right, so Serum's looking really good. This is going to be a solid daily close if we can get this. I'm pretty much, you know, I've been campaigning into this position. I bought here at the LPS. I bought the breakout. I bought the retest here, and I actually bought down at $6.50. So I've campaigned this entire move because I feel like we're kind of running out of time on Serum. But, you know, if we kind of break out, I think I'll just take my last entry at the break of this level, and that will be my entire campaign on this position, and I'll be quite happy with the position that I hold inside of Serum. You know, a lot of there's an argument to be made that the adoption hasn't quite occurred with Serum, but I think that with Serum, FTX, and Solana, they're kind of working on potentially one of the better DEXs that's ever existed. And maybe with this launch of the DEX, the American participants will be able to participate in all of the XTF offerings, including perpetual futures on these decentralized exchanges. And you won't care that you're not allowed on FTX.com because you'll just be able to use the Serum DEX. So interesting things to come. You know, they have a lot on their plate. They have a lot of promises. They have a lot of promise. But we don't have the confirmation that nothing's really running yet. Just the infrastructure is being built. So there's potentially better gains elsewhere. But I really like this daily candle thus far. And if in 7 hours and 26 minutes we can get a solid close above $7, I think that that's a very good close on Serum. So we'll open it up to the community here. This stream's going to be a little bit on the shorter side just because of the you know, the mix up with the stream at the beginning. I don't know what happened, but it was just really laggy, and then yeah, screen was frozen. But we'll take a look at some of the projects that you want to take a look at. So go ahead and just let me know in the chat what you want to take a look at. I'm going to take a look at another one here, Dodo. Now this one, I don't know enough about this. I just kind of like this structure. Let's get the volume back on. A lot of supply currently. You can see that there's a lot of selling pressure here. So watch out for a move back down. But if we get a breakout and then come back down and test on low volume, you might want to be considering a position well, you do your own research, because again, I don't know enough. That I've just gotten to the point where you know, I've noticed this chart, and that's often how it works. You know, there's 6,000 assets charts that you can be looking at. So how do you narrow it down? For me, I look at the charts, and when I find a chart that is interesting, when I can look at the chart and see, you know, strength in an asset, then I'll take a look at the fundamentals and try and figure out what this thing does. But it all starts with the chart for me and understanding the strength, because what these candles represent are human emotion, human participation, market participants. This is what is going on behind the scenes. This is what is going on in the forefront. And right now, Dodo seems to be under the radar based on what I'm seeing inside of this this accumulation zone. We're at the top of the range. Okay, realize that when you're at the top of the range, the most likely outcome is to go back to the bottom of the range, but it is starting to make higher highs. So take that into consideration as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at sand. We'll be starting the virtual classroom at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So for those who are not in VIP, you can follow the links down below, get signed up for VIP, and you can join the virtual classroom, which we do immediately after these streams every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. The virtual classroom, we can talk about your charts, talk about your strategy, and help you develop a trading plan so that you can really capitalize on this market, because it's a fast-paced market and you have to have a plan. Sands had a very nice move up. So how I want to break this one down is I want to look at this reaccumulation. So Sands, you know, we're at a big move here. So big move equals big reaccumulation. So from the point of the breakout on this macro rally, we went up 1,400%. There's a lot of participants willing to sell this, and we're currently at about a 10x. So big money was made in this. Okay, so let's draw a trading range around it. Let's go to the daily. Daily. There we go. This will likely be range bound for a bit, but we're entering kind of the value zone. If you know, if you're convicted to this position and you want to kind of add or gain exposure here, you know, we're getting to that point where you would consider doing so. But let's just drag it across. This is kind of this is on the Tron ecosystem, I believe. So we have our buyer's climax here. Buyer's climax here, our automatic reaction right here, and our secondary test right here. So this is kind of your phase A. Phase A, you're just setting the range. There's nothing to do. So you're just allowing the price candles to develop. I think personally that there's more downside here. I think that you can find some nice psychological support right around 50 cents. Look at that. That's perfect. That's right at the lower end of the range. Is right around 50 cents inside of sand. So I think anything at 50 cents and below would be a strong buy, but realize that just because you have a strong buy doesn't mean that it's going to take off right away. This is just getting to the point of reaccumulation. So be on the lookout. We want to see this area kind of hold. We're looking for our secondary test in phase B, you know, ST phase B, wherever that lands. Typically, you know, you want to wait for that test, and then you want to wait for another test, and the other one's a spring, kind of, you know, you have that fake out direction, a bear trap, I guess, or you could say, and then we move back into the consolidation. Long story short, I think you have time on this one. We've had a really long run up. It's currently sitting at a 10x. There's plenty of people willing to take profits at these levels. So just, you know, realize that and proceed with caution. These things, it is a fast-paced market, but if it's in reaccumulation, we don't know how long it'll last. So be aware. I think there are other opportunities inside of this market. Join VIP to find out those opportunities. Ocean, sure. Yeah, let's take a look at Ocean. Oh, okay. So FTX US allows you to use 10x leverage if you have over 100K in your account. Does it tell you how much you need for 3x? Because I don't recommend 10x. 10x, no bueno. Don't use 10x. Okay, it seems to only be on Kraken. What's going on here? Is it not on Binance? I could have sworn. What's going on here? Okay, so they'll probably allow you up to 10x. So yeah, $100,000. That's very traditional finance outlook. You know, there we go. There it is. I don't know what I did differently. Why are you not clicking? Come on. What's going on here? Stupid computer. Why can't I get Ocean? All right, click. There we go. Jeez Louise. All right, so let's see where we're at with Ocean. So Ocean's finally starting to get some momentum behind it. You know, it's been a grind for a long time, but that's usually pretty good opportunities. So we have a few SR flips here. We can see this last area back here. There was an SR flip. We had the breakout, came back down for our test, started rallying. We have an area up in here where we have a SR flip. I'll go with the candle body close on this one up to the breakout. Yeah, so we're just taking the stairs up. You know, the stepping stone, as this is often referred to, is that those clean SR flips. If you can get into assets that have these clean SR flips, yeah, they're slower, but they're so much easier to trade because it's so much it's really clear where the support and resistance is. When you start getting into stuff that's really heated up and you have those long extensions, when it comes back for its reaction, there's no support built, so you don't know where it is. It's invisible support. It's psychological support. When you have an asset like this, you have visual support. You can see where the support levels are, so that we can, you know, gain confidence and go to higher levels. It's looking like we're getting ready to sit on support, but this is one that you're going to sit on for a while. The momentum hasn't quite gotten to Ocean just yet. Tomo. Yeah, let's take a look at Tomo. Hey, Sam's a dog. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Yeah, well, it's on FTX. Let's go look at FTX. Yeah, this is very, you know, keep it simple, man. Keep it simple. This is a very nice trend, very healthy. Nobody's talking about Tomo. This one's kind of, you know, I don't hear too much about Tomo chain. This is beautiful. You know, keep it simple. I'm not even going to like go into the signals or anything. Just draw a range around it. Keep it simple. You know, we're kind of in the middle right now, so it's not the best position to be taking. In the middle of a trading range, we would like to get into lower levels. So what do you do? What do you do when you think it's going to go up, but there's room for it to go down? You campaign in, okay? Split your position into 10 bags, you know, 10 different positions. If it goes up, you buy at higher prices. If it goes down, you buy at lower prices. You have to submit to the fact that you don't know. So we're sitting on support, but we could go to the bottom of the channel as well. So you could start to campaign in. Never go all in. Don't YOLO. Don't FOMO. Any of the acronyms you want to use. Just avoid that stuff because you know, it's just going to get you hurt. Let me what's going on with my chat here. Refresh chat. Am I not live on YouTube? No wonder my numbers are down. Uno momento. Technical difficulties. It's like everybody's on Twitch. I'm like, yeah, I'm getting more popular on Twitch. Nobody's on YouTube, that's why. Hell, you know what? Screw it. Twitch only stream. Just for you guys. Screw it. All right, cool. Yeah, so Tomo chain, yeah, it's looking good. Nice call here, Sam's a dog. This is one that you want to get into. It's looking nice. Nice and healthy. Nothing really. It's a healthy consolidation. We're just heading to the upside. That's what you want. You want to FOMO into Tomo? I don't think there's any reason to FOMO into Tomo, just because it's you know, it's just a healthy ascent in price. It's not going parabolic. It's just accumulating upwards. So you should accumulate it upwards. Well, this is great. 36 people watching the stream on Twitch. That's above the normal for Twitch. So thank you guys. That's awesome. You get the Twitch exclusive. All right, where are we? We did take a look at ETH already, Voxel Blaze, so you can just you know, refresh the stream later if you, or you can go back now. It's up to you. What are my thoughts on Dash? I think Dash is looking good. We've been campaigning into Dash. You know, we're getting ready for the breakout on Dash, and this is where we are. This is where we are with a lot of assets right now. Okay, they've had a strong rally out of their accumulation, and we're just getting ready for the breakout. So Dash is lagging behind a lot of what's going on with the market, but that's okay because Dash just left its accumulation range. So again, these are assets that are going to take time. This is not something that's going to melt your face off today. It's something that might do so in a few months from now. These are the ones that will give you the largest returns, though, statistically speaking. You know, if you keep chasing the ones that are hyped, you're assuming a lot of risk. You're assuming a lot of downside risk when you're buying assets that don't have support. But you know, the gains are already almost done. You know, if you bought Theta at $10, I don't know what Theta's at right now, but you know, you'll get like a 1x, or you know, you get a 2x, something like that. If you buy out of the accumulation zone, now we're talking 10, 20, 30x. Good things come to those who wait. Okay, Sam the dog, I got in on confirmation off the trend line. However, I didn't campaign and I just dropped a bag. Hey, you know, it's about limiting risk. So if you're ready to assume the risk, you're ready to ride, you know, you're ready to hold the bag. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just, you know, if you're unsure and you want to make sure that you kind of average into a healthy position, you campaign in. If you know, want to YOLO to the moon, you jump right in. And there's nothing wrong with either one of those, as long as you have the stomach to handle the downside, temporary or not. And have a plan to both directions is more important. Raven. Yeah, let's take a look at Raven. All the Ethereum miners thinking that, you know, they're going to head over to Raven when EIP 1559 launches. So everybody's thinking, oh, Ethereum's going to fail because all the miners are going to leave. It's not really how it works. I think Ethereum is decentralized enough. There's enough miners all over the world that it's not at a threat for any sort of like death spiral or any of that nonsense. The difficulty adjustment will adjust. You know, if all the miners leave, that just means that it'll be more profitable for those who stay. Yeah, the fees go down. Yeah, your reward goes down. But if all the miners leave as a result of that, the difficulty is adjusted and you make more money. It's kind of a self-equalizing system. So, you know, this whole narrative that ETH is going to die when they do EIP 1559 and everybody jumps into Raven is just nonsense in my opinion. So anyways, Raven here on the daily, got a nice accumulation structure here, getting ready for the breakout. Spent a lot of time at the upper end of the range. This is indicating a lot of health, a lot of demand. A lot of supply came in as we tried this breakout. So if we close below this, we'll probably come back down. Look for support right around this level right here, something like that. Come down for support somewhere in there before giving another attempt to have a breakout. It's tried to break out on numerous occasions. Not that this was, you know, it was hard to call this a breakout because the levels weren't really defined yet. But, you know, buyer's climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. We tried to break out. I don't think we're quite there yet. There's still a lot of supply. So we'll likely consolidate it a little bit more. Wait for that confirmed breakout and a test back down on top of the trading range to really get convicted to the position. Reef, yeah, we can let's skip Reef. Reef is just accumulating, you know, it's moving sideways. There's nothing really to report on Reef, so we'll just leave it at that. Loving the way that Avalanche is now moving. Well worth the wait, I feel. Love the fundamentals. Again, not many people are talking about it yet. Yeah, the fundamentals are interesting. The adoption is very slow. You know, not a lot of people are in Avalanche. Avalanche had a very poor launch of the Penguin exchange. I FOMO'd into Penguin and got burned. But hey, you know, c'est la vie. Let's take a look at Avalanche here. Where is it? There it is. Yeah, we've got this very clean trend line. You know, we established this line back here and we've just been floating along. So this is confirmation of support. It took a lot of convincing to show the market that this wasn't going to break down. And it looks as though we've finally gotten to that point where the market believes that we're going to, you know, continue upwards from here. So if we just draw a line of resistance right here, we're tentatively above the resistance right now. If we want to do the top of here, we're not quite there yet. Wait for a break above, looks like $40. So a clean break above $40 would be a nice confirmation that that the trend will continue. Maybe we get something where we break out and we come back down and revisit this line at higher levels before getting a solid confirmation to the upside. But things are looking pretty good. You know, nobody's talking about Avalanche, so this one might be a long burn, but hey, you know, that's like we've said multiple times on this channel, that's often the ones that can be the most profitable. Patience is a virtue. Risky the dog. Pond. I don't know anything about Pond. Keep hearing about Pond. Is that a polka dot thing? We need a longer chart. Is there a longer chart? Yeah, so a nice SR flip right here. Just keep it really simple. There should be support somewhere in this area. Something like this. So just watch for the support to come in. It looks like there's a lot of demand coming in as it approaches the support level. Yeah, just watch how it lands, basically. Let's throw on the RSI here. Got my new Retro Feels RSI. So yeah, it's looking like a little bit of a bullish divergence. We're very oversold, so it's in a good position right now, sitting on the 40 line. Want to head back up from there. Yeah, it's looking good. It looks like it's confirming support right now, so you could, you know, this looks like an advantageous place to take a position. There might be a little dip here and there, but it's not looking bad. It's not looking bad, you know, 10% to the support line. Okay, I've got time for one more, and then I got to hop into the virtual classroom. So for those who are in my VIP, we do these virtual classroom sessions where you get to ask questions directly. We get to look at your charts. We get to dissect your analysis and try and help you learn what a profitable trading setup looks like, so that not only are you able to find this stuff on your own and you don't need a call out group, you're able to contribute to the community. We've got a really strong community of traders all keeping eyes on this market. We're all focused on different sectors. So, you know, if there's a coin that you like, there's somebody in the group watching that coin that may have more experience than you. So if that's something that interests you, join the links down below. Follow the links below to sign up for VIP. All right, so we will choose. We're going to choose XLM. Pond, layer 0 infrastructure for decentralized DEXs. That seems confusing. I don't know. That seems confusing to me. Layer 0. Let's go look at XLM. Keep in mind, as the newer retail comes in, does your story make sense? Because we're selling the story, we're not selling the facts. This is the speculative stage of the market. If retail can't understand it, are they really going to get convicted to it? So the question is, we've left our accumulation and we're taking the stepping stones up. Yeah, we're in markup with XLM. XLM's been doing really, really good. We have been in this stepping stone formation. You know, there's a support line. There's a support line, and it looks like we have a breakout. So this is another one that's breaking out. You know, lots of these assets are breaking out, and we're looking to find support right now. If we go to a higher time frame, let's see what we got in the macro accumulation here. No, this is not a cup and handle. We're definitely in markup. So markup began here at this level right here. If you were studying the Wyckoff method, you would have known that this was the backup, and this is the time to take a position. So currently, from the point of the backup, we're up nearly 500%. It's in markup. This is not a cup and handle. We're taking the stairs up. We're getting ready to you know, attempt to break out all-time highs right at around $1. So watch for supply to come in at those levels. So you've got basically a 2x from here, just under a 2x from here, 40% move to the upside before we can get to that. Yeah, a 68% move. What do I know? All right, so that's basically it. If you enjoyed the content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And if there are any projects that you would like me to take a look at, leave them in the comments section down below. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.